Hey, what's up guys? My name's Ivan Batinich. I'm a professional mixed martial artist and fitness expert. And today I want to show you my 10 favorite beginner exercises that you can do anytime, any place, and get yourself in the best shape of your life and get started on your fitness journey. First favorite beginner exercise is the half get up. We're going to be starting on our back on the floor. We're going to take the kettlebell, we're going to load one of our arms, and then we're going to be getting up progressively to our palm, ending with a bridge. So for me to demonstrate, I'm going to be laying down on my back. I'm going to press the kettlebell away and lay flat on my back. So as you notice, I've got my left leg bent and my left arm loaded. I'm going to take my right hand 45 degrees off to my side. I'm going to utilize my leg to start my momentum. I'm going to drive from the floor to my elbow, press myself to my palm, and then I'm going to bridge my hips up nice and high. So I'm going to do this 5 to 10 consecutive reps. Again, I'm going to press the floor to start my motion to the right and drive up through my hips. My second exercise is the kettlebell swing. And so this seems pretty straightforward. Basically, we're going to be using this to develop more explosive power. We're going to build strength to your hamstrings, your low back, glutes, and core. What I'm going to start with is having both of my feet on the floor. I'm going to step back about 1.5 feet from the kettlebell. I'm going to grab the handle in a double overhand grip. I'm going to initiate my momentum by rocking forward to my forefoot, pulling the kettlebell back up into my hips. It's very important to generate momentum and to maintain momentum. Some things you're going to want to think about is keeping a straight line from the back of your head to your hips and not overarching at the top. So take my hands, overhand grip. I'm going to hike the kettlebell between my hips, and then I'm going to thrust the kettlebell up using my glutes and hamstrings. I'm not doing a shoulder raise. I'm generating momentum and propelling the kettlebell forward using my hamstrings and hips. When you're finished, bring the kettlebell into your hips and set it down safely to the floor. Our third exercise is the kettlebell goblet squat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my kettlebell or my dumbbell and I'm going to hold it under my chin. I'm going to descend into a full depth squat. I'm going to stand back up vertically. Some things to think about as you're doing it is you want to keep a mid-foot weight distribution. So I don't want to overarch, drive back into my hips or be too much on my heels, and I want to make sure that my heel doesn't lift off the floor. So I'm looking to descend straight into my squat pattern in a straight up and down pathway. I'm going to raise it up under my chin. I'm going to hold it away slightly from my chest. I'm going to open my knees to create space for my elbows, and then I'm going to stand right back up. So it's important to drive through the floor. Think about balancing your weight in the middle of the foot, maintaining contact with your toes all the way to your heel, and then driving up, locking your quads, squeezing your glutes, and flexing your abs at the top. When it's time, when you're done, set it down safely, and take a break. Our fourth favorite exercise is the kettlebell good morning. I'm going to take my kettlebell or weighted plate, I'm going to hold it up against my chest. I'm going to displace my hips to lengthen out my hamstrings. Once I feel a nice solid stretch through the backside, I'm going to come back up into a standing neutral position. So one more to review. The kettlebell good morning, you're going to hold it up at your chest, you're going to lock your torso, we're going to displace your hips, accommodating your torso by slightly bending the knees. Some things that you're going to look for while doing the form is lengthening through the hamstrings. You should feel a slight stretch. At the top, we want abdominal tension, and glute tightness. Our fifth exercise, we're gonna take a knee and get into a kneeling overhead press. Some of the things I like about this is that it's gonna correct your posture, stabilize your low back, and improve your shoulder health. Some of the key points are that you're gonna be on your knee, you're gonna take a single side knee down, and then we're gonna be loading our open side. So for example, if my left knee is on the floor, I'm gonna be doing my press with my left hand. So to start, I'm gonna get myself into position. I'm gonna put my left knee down on the floor. I like to keep my toes tucked under on the backside foot. I'm gonna use two hands to get my kettlebell racked at my upper body. Notice I have the kettlebell on the outside of my forearm. Now I'm gonna take a reciprocal pattern, press it overhead, and bring it back down. Press it overhead and bring it back down. Some things to think about are having glute tension, abdominal tightness, and we're trying to stabilize our midline as we press. Number 6 is the single arm kettlebell row. What I'm gonna do is take a nice broad base. I'm gonna keep a ramp-like posture, and I'm gonna support myself with my unloaded arm. So I'm gonna find my kettlebell, I'm gonna take a nice stance. I'm gonna stabilize my torso using my left arm. Notice I like to create a frame with both legs. I'm gonna take my kettlebell, I'm gonna be doing scapular retractions. I like to internally rotate into an external rotation position. Some key points are to feel it in your low mid-back. I want to feel my lats while I pull. If I feel this elevation, I'm not doing it properly. So I want to pull back and down in a smooth rotation pattern. My 7th favorite exercise is the kettlebell split squat. So we're gonna take a split stance, either your right or left leg forward. We're gonna put your weight on your front side foot. I'm gonna be extending through my back ankle so that only my toes and forefoot are on the ground. I'm gonna be holding my kettlebell on my open side. So the leg that's back is going to have the load in that hand. So for example, I'm gonna take my right leg forward. I've got my left leg back. I'm gonna crouch down and extend my front side leg. Notice I'm staying on my back heel. I've got forward intention, and I'm going to drop down, making sure that both knees are bending and extending my front side leg. I want to have oppositional tension between my front leg and my back leg, and I'm going to want to do 10 to 15 reps on each side. Number 8, we're going to go with a push-up. So I like to do it with my hands on the floor. I'm going to have my ankles extended so that only my forefoot is on the ground. I'm going to place both hands on the ground, slightly wider than shoulder width. I want to maintain a slightly rounded position in my back to ensure that my core is under tension. I'm going to articulate at the toes as I descend and extend the arms. So as I descend, I want to maintain tension in my hands. I want to create a slight external rotation at the shoulders so that my lats are engaged. So I'm descending under tension and ascending under tension. I've got my abdominals tight, my glutes tight, my quads tight, and I'm up on my toes, articulating through the front toe. Our 9th exercise, we're gonna train those shoulders and arms and do a dead hang. Our next exercise is one of my favorites to develop shoulder strength, grip strength, and overall resilience throughout your whole body. So we're gonna do a dead hang. So I'm gonna find myself a pull-up bar, ideally one where we can keep our body straight. I'm going to grab it in an overhand grip, as in the backs of your palms are facing your torso. I'm going to maintain tension through my torso, and then I'm gonna try to keep some scapular depression. So I want to have my lats engaged while I'm hanging in the position. So let's demonstrate. Okay, so we've got our pull-up bar. I'm gonna reach up, I'm gonna grab it in an overhand position using my fingers to create the grip. I'm going to take my feet off the floor and suck my shoulders in. So I've got my abdominals under tension, I've got my lats and scapula retracted. I've got my quads tight, glutes tight, abs tight, and as you can see, my posture is extended. So try to hold this 30 to 60 seconds, or as long as you can. Okay, so the next exercise is one of my all-time favorites. It's the kettlebell lateral lunge. This exercise is great for maintaining knee health and building a round rear end. So I'm gonna grab my kettlebell in my left hand and stand up and hold it at neutral. I'm gonna take a big step out to my right with my right leg. I'm gonna allow my torso to cross the midline. I've got my glute loaded and I'm gonna push myself back to neutral using the outside of my foot. Some things to think about are to keep both feet facing forward. We're gonna maintain a ramp-like posture, and then we're gonna have a good tempo. So I'm gonna step out, step together. Step out, step together. When you're done, set it down, wait a few minutes and do the other side. Okay, and so to conclude, I want to thank you so much for joining me and trusting me to show you these great exercises. To find out more information, visit me at my website, ivanbatinich.com. We've got limited availability to my online coaching sessions where you can change your life, transform your body, and overcome any obstacle that's set in front of you. So once again, thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you.